Well, that little tune will get you going. Welcome, 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 welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living in Granada Hills, California. Well, we're in Granada Hills, California. I don't know where you are, safe at home. And so I'd just like to thank you all for joining us today. We have with us our assistant minister, the lovely Reverend Nancy Woods, our music director, Ken Francis, and Jason Goldstein on keys and believe it, the bass on the keys. That was pretty wild. And then we have Mike and Evan in the back. So we are here to serve you this morning as we come to celebrate Father's Day by means of Sunday service. So happy Father's Day to all of our fathers out there and anyone who ever had a father also. Okay, so let's start as we start all of our services here by taking a deep conscious breath and release and allow ourselves to surrender to this eternal now moment as we come together for our call to service, which we call lighting the flames of faith. And we perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which we call spirit. That all faiths, all sentient beings come from this great universal presence, which we call spirit. That fundamental to this truth is the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here this morning. So as Reverend Nancy lights the first candle, it's for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the second candle for shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the third candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. The fifth candle we light for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the four noble truths and the path of compassion. The sixth candle we light for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. we light the seventh candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. The ninth candle we light for all forms of New Thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. The 10th candle we light for all those who are as yet unaware of the power and presence of Spirit in their lives, and for the space that we save for them here at our center, online, and within our own hearts. And as Reverend Nancy lights the healing candle, please put silently into the light the names of anyone wish to have experienced the healing flame of God's eternal love.
There is one flame that burns in our hearts. There is one light that shines through our love. We light this flame with faith. We light this flame with faith. We find this light within our own soul. There is one flame, one light within.
So in recognition of this divine flame that is within each and every one of us, I open my heart, my mind to receive and to embrace this idea and this understanding. So I recognize that the infinite intelligence that is in each and every one of us is willing to guide us and direct us in a life that is expressing love, joy, peace, and harmony. As I embrace this idea and allow it to be the foundation of my expression, I know and understand that there is a law in this universe for the greater good of all. And it is the law that I am guided and directed by in this moment. And know that in this guidance, that which comes forth is to bless, to lift up, to nurture, and to carry forth life itself in its highest and best. So it's with this understanding and this awareness that we step into this hour together, knowing that everything that comes forth, the words of the songs, the music, the energy of everyone serving, and the message that is delivered, all of it is about lifting, blessing, and being a light unto life itself. In this awareness, I express my appreciation for this wondrous law of being that is saying yes to life, yes to this time, and yes to this service. And I invite each one of you to join me as we step into this time of appreciation of this truth, as we say together, and so it is, and amen. So, I told myself that I was willing to stand here and be a person that is willing to stand in their truth, what is in my heart and what is being experienced. So what is coming forth is an understanding and appreciation for the message that has been gifted to my life, the understanding that has been gifted by so many historical teachers of the spiritual presence of life. A presence that knows no race, but the oneness of being. A presence that is able to know that every individual is a divine event. Every heart is an avenue through which the love of the universe is constantly waiting to pour forth into expression. Every thing that says there is the human race that we are honoring. And on this Father's Day, I am willing to understand and appreciate that creator of all of our being. And to recognize that it is waiting for us to recognize and embrace it in the way in which we are able to accept and love each other, and knowing that we all come from that oneness in the universe. So my heart is open today because I feel like we are connected, each one of us is connected to a source of love that is so great that it is able to do all things. I feel like each and every one of us has within us, each person has within them enough love to heal the whole world. So if we can open, because that love is coming from a source, that is the love that is pouring through every heart that's in expression, and any that's coming into expression. So I choose to hear the spiritual teacher, Jesus, today when he said, look beyond appearances. So I want to look beyond appearances, and I want to touch that society that I see out there, that society in which the love of the universe is finding its way, its joy and its peace and its harmony, its way into expression in every being. Where we as a expression of spirit, because there are a lot of the animals and all are included, Mother Nature everywhere, everything is included. But we as human beings have the ability and the understanding to know and to embrace the wonder of who and what we are. And in that process, we can touch each other from a place of being all right to be who we are and what we are, but we can touch the other one and being okay, being who they are. This is love. This is an incredible universe in potential. Oh, it is so awesome to understand and see that this is truly possible, that we are capable of doing this. We are able to love each other truly from a place of being okay. And it starts with loving ourselves. I feel blessed to be able to feel and know that this is the truth. So, can I offer up this invitation to everyone to join this train of truth, this train of love, this train of being in which we are able to embrace ourselves. And out of that comes the harmony of embracing the whole human race. Oh, I love it. I love it because I know it, I see it, and I feel it. God, if I could just feel it, I feel like sometimes if I could just pour it into each mind, that it would change everything. But I can only offer you the invitation to join me in this journey of sin beyond appearances. And thank you for letting me share that.
Two, three, four. If blood would flow and flesh and steel are warm, drying in the color of the evening sun, tomorrow's rain would wash the pain away, but something in our minds would always stay. Perhaps this final act was meant to clinch a lifetime's argument, that nothing comes from violence and nothing ever could. All those born beneath an angry star, lest we forget how fragile we are. On and on the rain will fall, like tears from a star, like tears from a star. On and on the rain will say how fragile we are, how fragile we are. Like tears from a star. On and on the rain will say how fragile we are, how fragile we are. On and on the rain will say how fragile we are, how fragile we are, how fragile we are.
Beautiful.
Thank you. I remembered it halfway through.
Okay. So, would you join me in saying the Declaration of Principles? We believe in one universal spirit, manifesting through all, natural,
and
incarnated in us. We believe the universal spirit is personal too and reveals itself through everyone who recognizes its presence. We believe our faith operates upon a law of mind, which automatically manifests in our experience according to that faith. We believe in the unity of all life, the immortality of the individual soul forever expanding. We believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the giveness of life to all.
Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul.
Very nice. Thank you. Yeah, I love the way you do that Sting song. Is that Fragile? Is that the name of it? Or
It's called Fragile. Yeah, it's Sting.
Fragile? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do a great job with that. Thank you. All right. So, again, happy Father's Day if you're just joining us. And for those of you who are fathers, for those of you who have a father, to those of you who may not have known your father but wanted to, I also want to give a shout out to stepfathers. Keep doing that. Keep at it. You're doing great work. Sometimes you need a little encouragement. I hope you're getting that today, because I know that some days it can be a tough job. Particularly, step parents actually get to choose their kids. They get to choose being there, and not all parents can say that. So anyway, happy Father's Day to everyone. So Mindfulness for Mavericks is our continuing theme for June. And I love this little surfer dude, although I'm told that you guys can't see when I point to this thing, so I'll just set this down. Maybe Mike can move the cursor on there. I don't know. So Mindfulness for Mavericks is the theme for June, and this week we are looking at mindful speech, and I'll try to stay on the subject. Because what we say matters. What we say matters, and here's something to think about. we create through our language, that the world is full of every form of language bringing life into being. What we say matters. We create through our language. The world is full of every form of language bringing life into being. Now, this is particularly becoming particularly important in this time and space, for in the outer world, perhaps within the world of your own state of affairs at home, we may need to remember that it is our thinking that creates our reality. Our thinking individually and the thinking that we do collectively. So the teacher Ernest Holmes called this collective thought mind race consciousness. And I've thought about how what an interesting idea that must have been back in the day. But today it should be much more accessible to us when we just think about the internet, right? And cloud storage, right? That we have access to all the intelligence. All of the intelligence of the material world is available to us, right? So in a metaphysical way, in a cosmic way, in a divine way, we too have available to us all the intelligence, all the love, all the power, that it's all there, awaiting our recognition and use of it. So, this is not to say that the world of conditions does not affect or influence us. So we're not denying the condition, but we are denying the power the condition has over us. It's a subtle but important difference. Now, I have found this to take tremendous effort sometimes to remember this. Sometimes it takes all of our attention to keep our minds single on that which we do want, to keep our eyes single on what it is that we want, what we do want, and rather instead we focus on what we do not want. For instance, if what we want in our life is a sense of peace, harmony, and serenity, we must direct our attention away from things that bring discord, struggle, or challenge. Now, sometimes this may have a fairly simple fix, like turning off the television or unplugging from social media. And sometimes we must be open to putting our life under the magnifying glass to identify what is bringing us discord, struggle, or aggravation. And really, I think the bigger challenge is often, what is it that we really do want? Most of us know what we don't want. What is it that we do want? And so it's very easy to stay focused on what we do not want, particularly when our world is being seriously challenged. Our world as an individual, our world collectively. That time when saying the serenity prayer just isn't cutting it anymore. Okay, so you remember the serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know one from the other. Now, wait a minute. What is a religious scientist doing accepting things I cannot change? Isn't the teaching that I can change my reality through the power of prayer? Isn't this idea out of alignment with principle? And I guess I would have to say, technically, I suppose it is. But to be honest, the times that I've truly used principle, where I have surrendered fully and absolutely to the creative process and consciously said to Spirit, use my life as a demonstration of your power and glory to transcend my limited understanding of this situation for my highest good and the good of those around me, that's actually been very few times when I've done that in a conscious way, because usually, for whatever reason, and it's so silly, I've had to be beaten into understanding that what I'm clinging to is keeping me held bound. Because in these situations, I need an idea that I have not yet thought of. I need a life that is currently beyond my imagination or beyond my current ability for self-responsibility to take responsibility for my own experience. That's hard to do, I think. What do you think, Rev? Now, this is the most amusing thing to me about religious science, right? So it's not something to beat ourselves up with, but rather to observe it and go, oh, well, look at that. There I go again. Now, why is this amusing? Is because change and evolution are the key tenets to our teaching, and yet this is what we most often struggle with doing. Because we often cling to what is familiar and to that which we believe is easier than we currently have. So Dr. Maureen Hoyt used to say regularly that we all want our lives to be transformed, but we don't want to be inconvenienced in doing so. Now, for most humans, and this is kind of a trap, and I'm just kind of telling on myself and encouraging you to go within and check out your own gig. But for most humans, the default position is to blame things outside of ourselves rather than to accept responsibility, right? To blame rather than to change. To blame rather than to change the outward condition, right? This is what systemic racism is in an unconscious way. But boy, no one's sitting still with this one anymore right now. So, we would rather blame than change the outward condition. This is fine for those of us who are content to sleepwalk through life. But this is not for you, and it's not for me. Should we find ourselves feeling defensive or even resentful over things we cannot change, this is the choice point. This is the choice point. To step into wisdom rather than to retreat into ignorance. To step into that which we may not quite have a handle on yet. To step into uncertainty, knowing that there is that within me and within the world that is infinite in nature, that is intelligence itself expressing, that there's wisdom in that, or I can go back and be happy in my ignorance with what I know. Except that we're not happy. If we were happy, we wouldn't be searching. You see the great conundrum here. Yeah. So step into wisdom or retreat into ignorance. Now, I'm going to invite you to think about how this may be true for you when I say the following things. So just take a deep breath. Just allow yourself, and then notice how you feel when I say Black Lives Matter. White fragility. The economy sucks. Or for that matter, my job sucks. Or it sucks not to have a job. Happy Father's Day. Global warming. If she'd only, or if he'd just, fake news, statues. Now, I'm just throwing out stuff that's been on the news lately. Right? So did anything trigger you there? Right? Did we find ourselves feeling defensive or even a little bit resentful over the things we cannot change? Again, If we did, then we are at the choice point. So are we ready to step into wisdom, or are we going to retreat back into ignorance? Are we ready for a new thought? Are we ready for a new thought? Now, this has really been a psychological exercise that we've been exploring here so far. And the psychology around this is fine, but it only gets us so far. Because when we feel like we are really stuck, we are going to need more power. We need more power when we're stuck. So if we are ready to stop living a life on auxiliary power, we are going to have to step through living under the power of outer conditions and step into our own free agency. We are going to need to engage with Spirit and to experience life under full power. That God is, whoops, where am I here? Went too far. There we go. That God is intelligent mind and spirit, and that there is a direct response from this universal intelligence to our intelligence. And if we ask for bread, we shall not receive a stone. But we are told that we must ask believing if we are to receive. And here again, as Holmes points out, we are meeting the law of cause and effect through the teachings of Jesus. So how do we access this intelligence? By binge watching episodes of Picard? No. By having a shift of consciousness. And a shift of consciousness that I have found in all of my years of stumbling and bumbling around, a shift in consciousness that is brought about through the use of what we call spiritual mind treatment. Now, spiritual mind treatment really is the superpower of religious science. Recognizing and knowing that there's only one power, one presence, one source, one life of God expressing in, through, and as this manifest universe, including within you and within me, and that when we consciously connect with this truth, and I would say even if it's in an intellectual way, maybe that's all that's available to us when we are in the challenge. Even that is sufficient to start. Know that there is an infinite power and that we are one with it. Now, many times that idea will move right to the heart, and then we can get into the feeling tone of it. That's our most effective way to use this superpower. From that heart place, then speaking our truth with power and conviction and belief, knowing that it is so, and feeling a sense of gratitude and awe about this infinite power and presence of which we are using, and then just to let it go. Let it go. Just let it go. And let it be so. A shift of consciousness brought about by the use of spiritual mind treatment. It is how we access and live in the full power mode of existence. Holmes says this, continuing on in this same line, that prayer is a mental as well as spiritual function of intelligence. It is a manner of approach to the Spirit, a conscious act of the mind, a concrete experience of the knowing faculty. That prayer should be direct and specific and should always be accompanied by positive receptivity. Now, what does that mean? Knowing that it's already done and we're open. We are open to its full and complete demonstration. Now, I got to tell you, many times you may not recognize what that demonstration looks like. Right, you may be really looking for a promotion, and instead you get a pink slip. So, oh my gosh, what happened? But then that experience moves to a completely different situation that is wonderful and allows for the full and complete expression of your creativity, and you're richly rewarded. It could lead to a completely different venture, completely different company, whatever. I know you know what I'm talking about. We've all had these experiences. It's a demonstration just the same. So there's always a demonstration, even if we don't recognize it. I always think about how the time when I was struggling in my construction business, and I went to Reverend Nancy. I'm like, oh man, I cannot demonstrate anything. You know, I'm bidding this job and didn't get it, and bid this job and didn't get it, and you know, my guys are being all uppity and grousing about this and that, and Nancy says, Reverend Nancy said to me, well, Mike, there's nothing wrong with your ability to demonstrate. You're just demonstrating negative stuff. So I really hated that she said that, by the way. But when I took a closer look, I could see that she was exactly right. Because what I was lacking was a confidence in using this law, right, that I was already using in an unconscious way to produce the things that I was afraid of, was really what was going on. And once I flipped that around, the whole gig changed. So spiritual mind treatment, or prayer, affirmative prayer, is how we access spiritual power. A power that is limitless in intelligence and love, but we must give the order to engage. Without the order to engage, this power is simply potential. Nothing more. It is in the same way that a light switch is the avenue from which the potential of light demonstrates in a dark room. Right? So in a dark room, this power can be all around us. But until we have turned on the switch, we fumble and stumble around in the dark. So prayer. Prayer is good for the soul, but I think sometimes we are just a bit timid to use it. A bit timid, like a child who is afraid of the dark, trying to bravely not turn on the light. I spoke earlier of surrender, but this isn't in thrashing around in the egoic realm, in the dark, under auxiliary power. I mean, isn't this really a silly way to live? So why not? Why not use prayer? Why not engage this power? Why not speak up? Why not speak up and just say, I don't know how to do it? But I do know that there is that within me, which is an expression of the infinite power and presence of the divine, expressing as intelligence through my mind that knows precisely what to do. And I call forth now that idea, knowing that the power to see it to fruition, that too is available to me. Why not name that which must be changed in our spiritual practice? So I found this quote from the poet Audre Lorde, and I'm not sure, I may be hacking her name. When we speak, we are afraid of our words will not be heard or welcomed. But when we are silent, we are still afraid. So it's better to speak. Now here's the thing about spiritual mind treatment also. I think it's much more powerful when you do it aloud. So if you're a little timid, like somebody might hear you, then go for a walk. Or you know what? You can put your Bluetooth on and people will just think you're talking on the phone anyway. So you can do that too. There's nothing to be afraid of except success maybe. What if it comes true? So she also said this I just found her today, by the way. I'm going to explore her some more. She's very interesting. It's never easy to demand the most from ourselves, from our lives, from our work. To encourage excellence is to go beyond the encouraged mediocrity of our society and to encourage excellence. But giving into the fear of feeling and working to capacity is a luxury only the unintentional can afford. And the unintentional are those who do not wish to guide their own destinies. The unintentional. So, we've been under this COVID situation now for, almost 3 months? So maybe you're feeling a bit unintentional right now. Maybe you're Netflixed out. Maybe your basic needs have been met, but you're looking for a little bit of sweetness. Maybe you're looking for a little lift. Maybe you're looking for a new idea, a new focus. Maybe you're wanting to bring your Dharma into greater focus and clarity. So I invite you to treat yourself to some Raymond Charles Barker and some Dr. Maureen. Dr. Maureen just started a prosperity class. It's on Zoom. The only cost is a commitment to practice generosity through the class. There's no tuition. The info is strong, and you have an opportunity to learn and to share together in spiritual community. And I am encouraging you to do this as we continue to stay safe at home, because now is the time, this is the time to connect rather than withdraw. I know people are zoomed out. Hell, I know I'm zoomed out. I am absolutely zoomed out. If I do another Zoom meeting, I feel like, oh my gosh, my eyeballs are going to turn into a computer monitor, right? But this is time well spent. And it gives you a chance to, for those of you who have not had a chance to go to class with Dr. Maureen, it's a chance to do it in the safety of your own home. I should say in the convenience of your own home. It's early. It's like at 6 o'clock. You don't have to drive anywhere. We've basically taken all the reasons why you can't go to class away. It's free. It's early. You're home. You don't have to drive. So get your ass into class and change your life. Change your life. Change your experience of life. All right, because at the end of the day, I speak life into being with an intention of love, oneness, and peace for ourselves and all living things. So why don't you at home, why don't you just, and you guys here too, if you like, put your hand over your heart and just say, I speak life into being with the intention of love, of oneness, of peace for all living things. So let's just take a deep, conscious breath. Holy Father, Mother God, that infinite power and presence of Spirit, the creator of all things, the divine weaver of life, we surrender now to your indwelling presence, that we breathe into this moment and allow you to make yourself known to our conscious mind, that we step confidently into this power and presence and this present moment, knowing that we are being infused with all that is needed right now. That our heart is infused with the infinite power and compassion of love itself. That we are broken open in ways that allow us to be courageous in our vulnerability. to feel life expressing as this day. That we allow ourselves to the power of receptivity of that up until now elusive idea that can set us free. That we, in an intuitive way, release this idea into this power and presence, knowing that it is the substance from which all things are made manifest. And so we confidently step into our next great idea, knowing that the infinite power and presence of the divine itself is backing our play in every way. So we feel a deep sense of gratitude. Gratitude for the many blessings that we currently experience as our life and those yet to be. That we raise ourselves and release these thoughts and intentions, this intentional life, unto this creative process, which is the Spirit itself expressing as my life and those around me. And so it is.
My father's chapel has many churches, has many temples, has many mosques. My father's temples have many doorways. Don't try to tell me that some doors are locked. My father's house has so many mansions with many dwellings and many rooms. My father's house has so many mansions. Who gets to live where? We can't presume. My father's fields have such beautiful gardens with many vineyards, many vines. My father's fields have many who labor, and those who will labor know his love divine. temple has many benches where weary strangers may rest their feet. No, there are welcome all of his children. I don't need no usher, I can find my own seat.
So let's give them some love at home, even though they can't hear you. They can feel it. Can you feel it, guys?
I can, thank you very much.
I just want to give a shout out before we do our offering thing. I want to give a shout out to Donna Lee DeVos, who's been writing me these nice notes, who's at home, and she's been writing me these notes to let me know how much she appreciates the service, because it's hard for her to get out and about. And so anyway, Donna Lee, if you're still watching, thank you for your gifts. And while I'm at it, thank you, all of you, for your continued faithfulness in your giving and keeping this service going. So what that means, of course, is that it's time to talk about the ways that you can give. And if you go to our website, you will find on the right-hand side there's which is just to the right of that photograph that says Shift and Lift. There's a donate button there. It's a gold button. And if you press that button, it will take you to our portal for your contribution. So if you have PayPal, then you already know how to work that. But you can also use that lower button where it says donate with a debit or credit card. If you're using your phone, it'll look like this. So you just swipe, swipe, swipe. You know, like if you're on Tinder or something, I would think. I've never used that, but is that how you do it? You don't know, right?
No.
Okay, yeah. So anyway, so you press the donate button, and that too will take you to the portal. That is kind of weird knowing that I've never used a particular technology. But it's even better knowing that I don't have to. Okay, and then the PayPal button there, it will also take you to that same donate page. So it's really simple, or you can mail it in. Here's our mailing address. And of course, the simplest way is to use your PayPal, which is what many of these checks, what many of our members are now doing. So however you're participating, we appreciate all that you do, and we'll let the lads take us into our offering song.
3, 4.
Spirit gives through me, Spirit receives through me, Spirit lives and breathes through me, Spirit lives and breathes through me, Spirit gives through us, Spirit receives through us, Spirit lives and breathes through us. Spirit lives and breathes through us. Spirit gives through us. Spirit receives through us. Spirit lives and breathes through us. Spirit lives and breathes through us.
Nice. So going within for just a moment longer, recognizing and knowing that the gifts presented here either through the giving basket here this morning or through our online giving. However, it arrives that all of it is a demonstration of a consciousness that knows and knows that it knows that God is our source, our substance, our supply. So through the heart of the individual, these gifts are presented. We, representing the heart of this spiritual community, accept these gifts with deep love and respect as we know together they go forth to heal, to prosper, and to bless not only the vision and mission of this center and this online service, but anyone who's connected to our center in any way. That we extend this blessing and this knowing to our friends in our community of Granada Hills, our city of Los Angeles, our state of California, our United States of America, all of its churches, temples, mosques, schools, universities, the people who attend them, the people who support them, that we know for our planet as well, that all of it is an emanation from the mind of the Spirit expressing as perfect law. And to the extent that we know this to be so, we see it demonstrating in ways great and small. This lifts our hearts. We feel a sense of grace, of awe, of peace and power that propels us into ways of spiritual living and spiritual loving that raise not only our own lives, but the lives around us as well. And that's a good thing. And together we acknowledge this by saying, and so it is. Amen. So as we invite Reverend Nancy to make her way up here to pray us out today. Let's thank our music team, Ken Francis and Jason, one more time. Yeah. And Mike, Carlin, and Evan in the back there. And Reverend Nancy Woods, our assistant minister, almost said spiritual director, but in a way you kind of are, at least mine. So thanks for being here today.
So, as we go forth from this experience that we have shared here today, it is with the knowing of the love that is in the universe that we are the conscious expressions of life, and that we are the individualized expression of the divine. And knowing where the divine is, everything is perfect. To the extent that we are able to embrace this idea and have faith that it is true, we will demonstrate it. So as I accept and appreciate that spiritual presence has gifted us with this time together, it has gifted us with everything that has taken place. And so we can recognize and appreciate that it is gifted us according to our consciousness as we go forth to know the truth of ourselves and truth for everybody else, and to appreciate and understand that the love of the universe is all around us, lifting us up, holding us together, and taking us forward in life from this moment forward. Accepting this and loving this and appreciating this and being this is the choice that we are making right here, right now. And out of that choice, the event takes place. And I know that every life in this universe is blessed from this moment forward in a new and expanded way of being. So it's with joyous, loving appreciation I say thank you. Thank you. And together we know and understand and appreciate that the Lord has said yes, as we say. And so it is.
Please join us singing the peace song. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. Let there be peace meant to be, with God as the power, united all the way. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow to take